Hello everyone, it's Red with RedDragonLeo.com. Looks like we had a nice little spinning top kind of candle pattern here today. It actually, it's kind of hard to see right here in this little area, but basically we closed about flat. So the market's in a indecision mode right now. It doesn't know whether or not it wants to go up, wants to go down, so it is coiling. And it is coming close to the apex of this triangle. Yes, they could go on a few more days, stretch this all the way out until the end of the week if they wanted to. But on the 60-minute chart and the other shorter time frames, it does look like a bigger move is coming soon. So even though we could draw here, if we wanted to, we could draw a line right here and draw a line right here. You can see that we could easily do another 1, 2, 3, 4 days probably before they got this thing out to the apex to where it had to bust out, but it doesn't usually go that far. It appears like it wants to curl back up here on the daily, and it gives you that indication that it wants to do that. I just don't think it's going to. I do think we're going to have a fake out above this here area, and then I don't know if it's going to touch us 200, but I think we're going to do a little fake out tomorrow, quite possibly, although it's not looking like it when I'm looking at the ES right now because the futures are down 10 points. But still, the common thing for them to do is to do a fake out move to clear out little whatever stops there were right there. There's not many bears left, so there can't be very many stops left. Just a fake out move to get the bulls on board and then turn it right back down, fall right back into this, and this time bust on through this line. So that would be a common pattern, and of course this would just not roll up but just roll back down, continue down, and we'd start putting in some deeper bars is what I'm expecting to happen. I don't know if it's going to be a crash or not, folks, but a good move down is certainly coming. As far as this goes, look at where we're at here. I know it's hooking back up and all, but understand when you look at this and you see that it's below 50, it is in bear territory. Okay, the bears are down here below 50 and the bulls are up here. It has come down, bounced back up, come down again, tried to bounce back up. I think it's going to go down some more before this thing is said and done. You also look here at the rate of change right here is also falling. Everything to me indicates that that although we could quite possibly have a slight gap up tomorrow just for the purposes of tricking some bears, I do think we're going to roll over and sell off. And again, I don't know if this is going to be the crash that we're looking for. Who knows? But certainly it looks like a nice down move is coming as this rate of change is going down and losing strength. So you look at this on the weekly chart, you can see how overbought we are here on the weekly chart. You can see here, down here, and I can mark here on the weekly chart. This tells you the week should, if this week doesn't bust down, then it certainly should be next week for sure. And this should curl over and head back down because it's up here too high. I do believe it's too steep, and it should be rolling over at any time. And you got to look at it here on the full stochastics. It would be different if you were looking at the monthly chart and the monthly chart was pushing up, giving this support so that this could go up here and chop around here for a while as the monthly goes up. But it's not. The monthly is not pointing up, giving support to the weekly, and that's the next higher time frame. So this is basically wave 1 down, a wave 2, and on the weekly we're looking for a wave 3, and which obviously could be quite nasty. We're still waiting on this 3 of 3 of 3, but they are just certainly pushing it out and frustrating everyone. Here's the monthly chart. You can clearly see that on the monthly chart, folks, all we've done is one wave down, second wave up, getting ready for wave 3 down on the monthly. which ought to be a nasty wave. You can see here it's already put in negative divergence. It's below zero. It is trying to hook back up off the 50, but that's common. So, you know, it should roll right back down is what should happen. Whether or not it does or not, it's another story, because, you know, this is December. We're going into a light volume period. These gangsters could kind of chop this around here before they roll it over into January and February. It's possible. But I still feel like a nice down move is coming probably this week. On the daily chart, again, we've looked at that. Here on the 60, you can see it's curling, and you can see here that it is running out of steam here on the move up, and looks like it wants to curl over. This could indicate that if we do gap up, just speculation again, just a gut feeling, just the way these gangsters play this to trick everyone, that if we do gap up, we're going to be overbought here pretty quickly, and it should fall back down. So, but this curling effect right here should give it a move out of it very, very quickly, because we're running out of time on this part of it. And I think that while the market might gap up, I think this is going to end up rolling back over, breaking down out of this is what's going to happen. So you can look here, and you've kind of got a rough looking cup and handle pattern. It did kind of break up a little, but then you had a little bull flag, broke up a little, but fell right back down. So it's not a perfect one, but it does give you the indication that there's still a possibility of busting up here past this, just to clear out these people, and more than anything, not to clear out any stops there, more than anything to give the bulls some hope that we busted out of this trend line. It is very common to see a fake breakout of a trend line, either down and then reverse back up, or up and reverse back down. This is very common that they do this, a fake move. So that's one of the reasons I expect them to bust it up tomorrow. And we've got light volume still in the market both days, yesterday and today, and so that just kind of gives me that feeling that they are going to try to fool some bulls here, all this consolidation and stuff. So moving on to the 30-minute chart, you can kind of see the same thing here. On the 30-minute chart, you can clearly see we are putting in negative divergence here, and should roll over, and same thing here, should roll over, and you see we're overbought here, should roll over, should roll over. So so how do they fake everyone out? They bust up, then they fall right back down and let the charts work. So they bust up real quick, and it doesn't even complete a full 30 minutes, and literally within the first 30 minutes it starts to fade and roll right back down. Is what I would expect to happen. Of course, now this next move down should be deeper than this, or this, if it turns into some type of wave 3 down after this sideways garbage of wave 2, whatever you want to call it. You know, so it's just a bunch of garbage, chop, 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 and that's what it's designed to do. They don't want to let this wave 3 happen. They know it's got to happen. They're trying to just delay it, work it out to where it won't be as severe as what it should be. It should have already collapsed. I mean, but they constantly do this and trick the bulls and bears, and they won't let the bears in. It's kind of the way they do it. It's just very common. So you can see right here again, it looks like we should go down, and that's what it would lead you to believe. And that looks like that should go down and roll over. So what will they likely do? That's why it leads me to believe that they will first gap it up, then fall right back down and let this chart work. And of course, this time it should tank pretty hard if we do get this gap up. And I only say this because of the light volume and the manipulation factor and the false breakouts that are very, very common, where you break out of a triangle like this, where here's your triangle, and you bust out of it, and you fake it out. And that's why I think it would do that. It would clear out these stops too, and there's not many there. I think most of the bears got wiped out. On this move down, they all got short, and then this wiped them out. That was it. You know, wiped out a lot of bears. So, well, and plus this move here, So this wiped out the first round of bears. This wiped out the second round of bears. This is the third one. There's not many bears left, so you don't really got to go very far above this at all. All you really got to do is just bust out of this trend line, just to fake out people. That's it. So let's look at the ES here, and to see how this kind of matches up with what I'm expecting here on the charts. And yes, it's let's see, it is now it's 10:32 at night while I'm doing this. So okay, you can see the ES here. We're down 10 points. That would certainly lead you to believe that we are probably going to tank in the morning. Well, that's possible, no question about it. It is possible. But this is on the 60-minute chart. And it's just my feeling more than anything when I mix all these together that what will happen is this will get overbought down here, or I'm sorry, oversold down here. And what I'm thinking is it'll do one of these numbers down here, get oversold. I don't know how far, curl right back up to put in a little bit lower of a tower tomorrow morning. And that would give us your 1, 2, 3 triple negative divergence, which would give us the fake out of the possible gap up that fails. So that means that we would at some point tonight finish this, put in a bottoming tail. If you drew your line right here, that might be where we're headed, is 1240 down there, then back up a little bit as we curl all the other charts back up to fake everybody out. It's they did this already yesterday. I mean, you've seen this at night, and you don't really see much of a pattern here. This really wouldn't validate for a cup and handle this here, because a handle would either have to go like this or go like this. This is just too steep of a sell-off. That's really just does not validate for a cup and handle. A cup and handle is usually like this. That's the best one because that's also a bull flag. And another one would be like this, sloping down. But we've got one like this that just falls off a cliff like that. That just doesn't add, and then it by a cup like that. That's not what you'd call a cup and handle pattern. But you can see this trend line that it's hit here, it's hit here, and it's hit here and hit here, and that's where I drew that trend line. So will they hit it on the fourth try? I don't know. But right now it could go either way right now. But it's just I don't know, a gut feeling that they're going to turn it back up more than anything. Let's go to the 2-hour chart right here. And you can see here on the 2-hour chart kind of what's happening down here. Let's zoom in a little bit. And you can see how it's not getting very far above, not getting very far below. Kind of the same scenario, curling up. And that would be the reason I think we might curl up just a little bit. Again, do one of these numbers. Go down here a little bit in the morning and get ourselves curled to go back up tomorrow morning. And run it up just a little bit, just enough to get above there. Not much. And then again, put in a triple negative divergence. Then fall down here and bust out of this curling effect, I guess you could call it. So that would be down towards the downside. So, and you've had 1, 2, 3, 4 down bars. You might have one more again down here to 1240. And then, again, if you drew your trend line right here, that might be about the bottom of it before they curl it back up. Again, this is just, a lot of it's just trying to get a feel for the market. And I can be wrong many times. Obviously, I was wrong with the flash crash. I mean, or not flash crash, but the regular crash. They just wouldn't allow it to happen. I mean, so, can't do what you can't do. Bulls seem to win this whole game all the time. It's very, very disheartening to see the Bulls always win and the Bears always lose. They won't give anything to the Bears. God dog it. this is irritating me. 4 hours. Okay. Shoot. It's my pen tool that's screwing me up. I had to get the pen off of there. Sorry about that. Okay. So this should get it. So you can see how nasty it is on the 4-hour chart. And we can look at it down here. And you can see that it is trying to go positive. I don't really think it's going to go positive here very much. You could look at it like this. It's curling as well. Is it going to bust down on through there? I think it will. I mean, they might just hover right around this 0 line tomorrow before they just collapse this down. I don't think we're going to have many bars positive, even if one. So that would imply this is a pretty nasty looking bar, but we've seen it before. We've seen them go boom, 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 just like this and turn it right back up. That's what leads me to believe we'll have a slight gap up tomorrow, that they'll turn this back around before the open. They'll gap it up and then they'll turn it right back down. And that this last time, I think, just a feeling, I think it'll be it if we get that. So same thing here, as you can see, we're coiling up like, you know, and ready to explode in one direction or the other. And you got to say it's got to be to the downside. It's not going to be likely to the upside. I don't see it going up. Everything else, the monthly, the weekly, the daily, they're all overbought and ready to roll over. I just don't see it doing that. So okay, I think that covers everything. I don't see anything else here I can think of. So I would look for somewhere around 1240 for support. I mean, it could go down there and do a double bottom, I guess, in that area, but I would think they'd probably respect this trend line about where it's coming into right now. So it's looking ugly right now. It's looking like it's just going to open up and gap down and go. And if it does gap down on any bounce back up, I would definitely say that it is shortable, because I think that this is going to be the last day before it busts out of this triangle and ends it. And then we just start having a big wave 3 down. That does not mean, though, that it is going to necessarily gap down. We know that we've seen these negative numbers before, and they turn it right back up before the market opens. So just keep that in mind. I don't know one way or another which way it's going to do, whether it's going to gap up and drop, or, and when I say gap up, I don't mean very far. I mean a few points, 5, 6 points, 7 points, not very much. If it does that, just to get out of this triangle, just to get out of that triangle to fake some people out. But other than that, I think it's going to fall. I think it's going to fall. So if it does gap down, I would look for a slight try to retrace, and it probably won't gap fill. I'd say you look for your fib levels, your 38.2 retracement, or 50% if you get lucky. But other than that, it probably will bust on down and bust through it this time around. The way it's curling, it's just looking like it's running out of steam. So, all right, guys, that's it. That's my thoughts there on that. So we'll see tomorrow what happens. And good luck to everyone. See ya.